Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the MNB Wrestling Report Weekend Review for February 6th, 2011. You can find us on the web at mnbwrestling.com. Obviously, a pretty exciting week in WWE as we started the road to WrestleMania. It all opened up on Sunday with the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. We had 4 matches on the card, including the 40-man Royal Rumble. The first match saw Edge retain the World Heavyweight Championship over Dolph Ziggler. Was let down by the match at first. It started out really slow, but it built up and ended up the second half of the match was excellent. Another great match by Dolph and Edge. Dolph is wrestling like a main eventer, but he's getting booked like a mid-carder. He's in one of those guys that I think it's just going to be a matter of time before he's on the top tier and on the upper echelon and, contending for the title. Miz and Orton wasn't quite as good as I'd kind of hoped it would be. They had a good build-up to the match, I thought, but just kind of fell flat in a couple places. Not that it was a bad match. I still would give it 3 stars. Just wasn't as good as I was hoping. I was hoping for a good 3.5, 4-star match out of them, and I didn't quite get it. The Divas match baffled the hell out of me. It was supposed to be Lay Cool getting their rematch against Natalya, and they decided, no, we are going to make it a fatal 4-way completely out of the blue. And on top of that, rather than put in Beth Phoenix, who has, been dominant over Lay Cool on Smackdown, we're going to put in Eve. And then on top of that, we're going to give her the title. I'm just not even going to go there. Let's move on to the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble I thought was strong. We opened with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. Bryan got a couple of eliminations. They each lasted a good long time. They lasted about halfway through the Rumble each. Bryan went out a little earlier after there were 4 members in Nexus in the ring. They cleaned house and just started teaming up on everybody and throwing them out one at a time. From there for a while, it was every time somebody came in the ring, they quickly got thrown back out. Booker T made his surprise return, got all of his offense in, and then still got thrown out of the ring. Finally, it was Cena, and in the end, with the help of Hornswoggle, of all people, who assisted Cena in eliminating the Nexus. I give a little bit of amusement point to Hornswoggle hitting Tyson Kidd with the attitude adjustment, just because that little guy has to have some muscles to do that. In the end, probably the biggest spot in the match was earlier on with John Morrison. Morrison took a knock off the apron where he grabbed onto the side of the railing, the security rail, climbed up on top of it, walked to the top of the security rail, and then jumped from the very unsteady padding on the security rail that you see get flipped over all the time to the steel stairs and walked back into the ring without touching the floor. Amazing spot, but now he's got to try to top it next year. And that's going to be really hard to do. Morrison's another guy. It's just a matter of time before he's in the main event. In the end, it came down to Del Rio eliminating Randy Orton. He started celebrating in the ring. Ricardo Rodriguez was going berserk. And then Santino Marella comes back in the ring. He had gone under the bottom rope and knocked out of the ring. Hits Del Rio with the Cobra. Trumpets around, celebrates, goes to throw Del Rio out of the ring. For a brief moment, I'm like, holy shit, they're finally going to show that anybody can win the Rumble for real, when we all know that's not true. But no, Del Rio reverses it and throws Santino out. So Del Rio is your Royal Rumble winner. We went into Raw the next night, Del Rio, with a couple of big things that happened. Del Rio announced which title he will be going after, which he is going to challenge for the World Heavyweight Champion, whoever that may be, after the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Other thing of note on Raw, we had a match between Daniel Bryan and Tyson Kidd. I was actually excited about that match when it first came out. And I was very disappointed when they only got 2 minutes. Wasn't much of a match. They just didn't have the time to do it. So, very disappointing there for me. We also had Santino and Vladimir Kozlov defend and retain the WWE Tag Team Championships against the team of Michael McGillicuddy and Husky Harris of the Nexus. The other big thing on Raw was the Raw Rumble, which was basically a 7-man mini Royal Rumble match on Raw between John Morrison, Sheamus, John Cena, CM Punk, Randy Orton, and R-Truth, as well as Jerry the King Lawler. The stipulation on the match was that whoever won would challenge The Miz for the WWE Championship at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, while the remaining 6 would be in the actual Elimination Chamber match in order to challenge for the WWE, become number 1 contender for the WWE Championship. In the end, Jerry the King Lawler got the win. So we've got, for Elimination Chamber, we've got Jerry Lawler and The Miz for the WWE Championship, and then we have the Chamber match itself between John Morrison, Sheamus, John Cena, CM Punk, Randy Orton, and R-Truth. Moving on to SmackDown, we had a couple of interesting things happen over on SmackDown. Teddy Long is still out. We had a series of qualifying matches for the SmackDown Elimination Chamber. Edge is defending the World Heavyweight Championship in the Chamber, so he was in by default. Vicky also said that her boyfriend, Dolph Ziggler, is getting a bye. Wade Barrett got in with a win over the Big Show with the assistance of the Core. We had another spot with Ezekiel Jackson body slamming the Big Show, which is still impressive. We also had Rey Mysterio get in on a good match over Jack Swagger. Drew McIntyre beat Kofi Kingston off of interference from Del Rio for a good match. Nasty bump for Kofi there. They slammed him chest first into the steel stairs. That had to hurt like hell. And then Kane squashed Chavo. So your SmackDown Elimination Chamber is going to be Edge defending the title against Dolph Ziggler, Wade Barrett, Rey Mysterio, Drew McIntyre, and Kane. On top of that, we had Santino and Vladimir Kozlov lost a match to Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater of the Core. Not much of a match, but, they're going to have them challenge for the titles, and Santino and Kozlov are going to win again. That's, they're not taking the belts off them anytime soon. They have no interest in truly trying to promote the tag team division. The main event saw Edge and Kelly Kelly in a 2-on-3 handicap match against Dolph Ziggler and Cool. They built the match all night, even with nobody believing that Edge had any chance of retaining the title. In a conversation with Kelly, even he was talking like it was a bygone conclusion, he was going to lose, which led to Kelly saying that, he's just as bad as Drew McIntyre for not believing in her. They started the match. Edge and Ziggler started the offense. They got about 2 minutes in. Edge was on top. And then Ziggler tags in one of the members of Cool. I think it was Michelle. And from there it was all Cool and Kelly Kelly. Kelly actually was good on the mic tonight, and she was pretty good in the ring. Kelly took a nasty bump where she got swung by the legs sideways into the barricade. Padded or not, that had to hurt. In the end, there was a breakdown. Edge took out Ziggler outside the ring. Michelle went to kick Kelly Kelly in the head. Kelly got out of the way, and she kicked Layla right in the face. Kelly ends up hitting the spear on Michelle McCool to win the match and retain Edge's World Heavyweight Championship. Overall, a solid match, I thought, and they built it up really well. And then Vicky Guerrero comes in absolutely furious because she did not believe there was the possibility of this match being won by Edge and Kelly. She fires Kelly on the spot. Kelly goes back to the back crying. And then informs Edge that next week Ziggler is getting another rematch and she will be the guest referee. To me, this means one or two of two things. Either they're going to have the return of Teddy Long next week, or they are going to have Ziggler win the title on SmackDown, and then he will lose it back to Edge at the Elimination Chamber. And where that will lead to, I don't know. Honestly, I think the second option there is more likely. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes. So we're definitely starting to see the shape of WrestleMania kind of build up. They continued to build the Randy Orton CM Punk match feud. They are obviously going to be going at each other. They're still building towards Cena and Miz. They are clearly going to be building towards Del Rio and Edge, though it looks like they're going to feud Del Rio briefly with Kofi just to build him up. So expect to see Kofi losing Del Rio a lot here pretty soon. And then rumor mill is that we are going to see Wade Barrett face The Undertaker. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. That's got some credibility due to the Buried Alive match where Barrett led the Nexus out to help Kane bury The Undertaker. But overall, strong SmackDown, strong Raw. Rumble was enjoyable. A good week in wrestling. It's going to be interesting to see how all of this continues to build up as we continue down the road to WrestleMania. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here for tonight. Once again, I'm Mknzy, and this is the MNB Wrestling Report. You can find us on the web at www.mnbwrestling.com. You can find me on Twitter at Mknzy99. That's at MKNZY99. I'll hope to see you there, and thanks for watching.